Welcome to our channel. We are a full-time travelling family of 3 who have been on the road for over 2 years working as we go. We have ridden around mountains and climbed them, swum with seals and been chased by crocodiles, slipped through the mud and gone underground. We have stayed in sites with million-dollar views, found incredible pink lakes and taken the roads less travelled. Thanks for joining us on our journey. We are Trippin' Around Doz.
Welcome to a new episode, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, on our last episode, we would have left Kalgoorlie, or been at Kalgoorlie.
Yes, and so we've made our way over to South Australia.
Yep.
After we finished the Nullarbor, we pulled into Ceduna. We just stayed for one night so we could, get groceries. Yep. I swear someone told me there was a Woolworths in Ceduna, and there's not.
No, there's not.
So luckily I stocked up a lot in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah,
where'd we go after that?
We did the last 2 holes of the Nullarbor links at Ceduna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finished that, and they give you a little certificate to say, well done, you've done the longest golf course in the world.
Yes.
So that's done. And then we went to Point Brown.
Yeah, we spent one night there.
Yeah, so it's a free camp about an hour south of Ceduna.
But it was rainy and windy.
Everyone has told us to go there. And it would be amazing in nice weather, but
yep.
No.
It wasn't nice when it was just blowing, and couldn't really get the boat in through there. Well, I could have, but it would have been a pain.
And everyone had sort of taken the spots that were sheltered by the wind, so we were just getting hammered by the wind, so we left the next day.
Yeah.
So then we got to Palubi.
Yeah, we stayed up in there's a new campground just up from Palubi.
Yeah, it's called Palubi Park. You have to drive past it to get to Palubi, and they've opened it basically just because there's such a demand for down on the beach, and some people don't want to be down on the beach, or the tides are high, or whatnot. So we stayed there for a few nights. The owners are lovely.
Yes.
There's a dump point, there's water.
Who was it? It was Jess and who was the aunt?
I'm not sure.
Or was it a Dion? Yeah, the husband was Dion.
It wasn't Jess. Sorry, it was Dion and Jazz.
Yes.
So it was close. Dion and Jazz. Yeah, they're really nice.
Yes.
So they're a young couple. They've got a couple of kids. And if you don't want to park on the beach, go and support them, because they've got a good thing going. It's got a lot of potential. They're still kind of in the stages of getting it all sorted.
Yes.
And then we went down to the beach for a few nights.
Yeah, that was an interesting time.
Well, we had spectacular weather.
Yes.
For the first few days. And had a great time.
It was also good when we were up in Palubi Park, because I'd just take the boat down from there.
Yeah. And then we came down to the beach for our booking. So that's where we are today. We had the first 2 days we were here, it was like 39 degrees, so it was boiling. Then we've had 2 days of rain and clouds, but today is perfect. The water is flat, the weather is beautiful. I'm going to show you what it looks like out my door, because it's just outrageously amazing. So Hudson has been having an amazing time. There are so many families here with kids around his age. They've just been living in the water. So the water here it's a bit different than most beaches. It's very shallow. I'm going to say at least 30 or so meters. Oh, more kids. The kids can literally just splash around in the shallows, and you don't have to really worry about like sea animals or them, getting too deep or rips or anything. So he's just been out in the ocean constantly, which has been amazing. Dion's actually out at the moment trying to find some whiting. It's squid central here, so he's come back with so much squid over the last few days, but yesterday he found somewhere he could get whiting. So he's off doing that. Hudson was having too much fun playing. He didn't want to go in the boat, so I've just literally been sitting on the beach, having a chat to people on the phone and watching Hudson from afar, because he's down at the neighbouring camp. Anyway, I went over to get him for lunch, and he wasn't ready yet. The family over there was so lovely. They just said, hey, he's completely fine here. Like, we know your husband's gone out. Go and have some mum time and eat lunch on your own. They're like, he's fine. Nice. I can see him from the caravan. So I can literally stand here and see him through the window. So it's not like I'm not watching him. But the fact that, straight up, they'll just go eat lunch on your own. But they're having a great time. They've got 3 kids. So Hudson's just the 4th tag along. But amazing. We have actually closed our lap now. So we never went further than Palubi Beach last time before we went north, and now we're back at Palubi. So we've done a lap of Australia, which is pretty incredible. We're not obviously done yet, and we're going to go see some different places on the way back through. But yeah, I can't believe we've actually gone right round.
I don't know if you can hear me. Just complained about the water noise off the boat. Trying out something different. Today we're out at Palubi. Yeah, so today is a perfect day to be out on the water. It's 7:30 and it is flat as, no breeze. The swell is supposed to be like 1.7, but it's around the headland, so not even hitting it here. And yeah, see if we can actually catch some fish today. I'm hoping to get some squid. I was thinking about doing some blue swimmers, but I've got to find some weed bank before I can actually throw the crab pots in. See what we catch. Alright, so I moved about, I don't know, 10 metres further into shore from where I was fishing. I've gone from 4 metres down to about 2.5 metres. And first cast, I've got a squid on. Doesn't feel like it's a very big one, but it's still a squid. And if there's one, there should be more. The water here is so clear. You can see the bottom at like 4 metres deep. Yeah, should not be just a little one. Now the key part is trying to get it in without getting squirted. Really need a longer net. A longer net would make it a lot easier not to get covered in ink. The hard part is trying to do it without getting covered in ink. But if you can, it's so easy. He's not awfully big. See if I can get him out. Not awfully big, but still big enough for food. Oh. I might have one on the back too. At the moment we're getting one every cast or two, which is pretty good. The key is to have a second one in the water, or if you had a second person, be a lot better. You see me? If you had a second one in the water, like a second person in here with me, when you get one on, there's normally one or two behind. So if you've got someone else to cast in behind, they're guaranteed to get one, and you can just keep cycling through. But because it's just me, I've got a floater out the back, and as I'm casting, I'm trying to drag them by the floater. That way the second will catch on the floater and hopefully get a second one out of each pass. We'll see how we go though. So first cast of the day. Sorry about the voice, I'm sick. Yeah. First cast of the day, and we've already got a King George whiting out. South Australia, King George whiting, 32 centimetres. This one is nose to tail, 33.5, nearly 34. So that's a keeper. First cast, first one. That's a good start. And he's going to the different size. Yeah, it's 33. Definitely keep.
And then the last night, everything kind of went to shit. I can't even word it any other way. It just did. So yeah. I'm just gonna roll some footage. Okay, this is not a video I wanted to be making at midnight. Let me explain. So we've been down here for 5 nights. We specifically came down when, like, worked around the tides, and tonight was only supposed to be like a 1.5 tide or something like that. There was a little bit of a storm this afternoon, nothing crazy. We packed half our stuff up because we're leaving tomorrow. Went to bed, I was watching a movie. It was getting really windy, but we didn't think much of it. My eye, I've got sand in it and it hurts so bad. Anyway, just sitting there watching this movie, and all of a sudden we hear a car screech up next to the van. They're beeping and going, Dion! And we were like, what is happening? And I looked out the window, and it's one of the guys we made friends with, sort of, who was a few camps up. Anyway, we came out and we're like, what's going on? And he's like, the wind has changed, and look at the tide. And we looked, and the water was only a couple of meters from the van. And he's like, high tide's in an hour. Our camp was flooded. Like, you've got to go. And we were like, what? So Dion comes out and has a look at it, and he's like, it should be fine. Like, we were right back in the dunes. Anyway, we're running up and down the beach, talking to everyone. Dion looks up the app. It says it's only going to go up another 100 mil, but over the next few hours, the swell's going to go up 700 mil, which is huge. So we're thinking, okay, it's probably going to be okay, because by the time the swell gets that high, the tide will have gone out. Talking to the guys next to us, they were further down the beach than us, and I was like, you guys need to leave. Like, you either need to get up high like us, or you need to get off the beach. So they got off the beach. Meanwhile, we're running around. Like, we've got the solar blanket out, we've got the boat out, like, everything is pretty much out. Oh my god, sorry, my heart's still like... Anyway, so we start packing everything up, and I'm not kidding, within half an hour of us being, like, told the tide's coming in, it's lapping at the tyres on the car. We drove down on full tyres. Palubu Beach is hard, so we drove down on full tyres, and we're like, we'll just deflate when we need to leave. Not expecting that we would need to leave at midnight the night before we were due to leave. So we had dug holes for the van. We were like proper not going to get out easily. So we start deflating. Dion said, look, just do 10 on the front of the car, 20 on every other tyre, even the van. And as I'm deflating, I'm ankle deep in water. By the time Dion's finished doing the other side of the van, he's underwater. My legs currently are covered in shell because that's how long it's been since this happened. So anyway, we got that done, we got hooked up, and we just floored it. We didn't even get Hudson out of bed. I'm going to show you. So he has been asleep through this whole ordeal. We've driven up the beach with the van in this horrific wind. And you see? Yeah, so somehow he didn't wake up, he didn't fall out of bed, which was my greatest fear. Dion just called. He's gone back down to the beach to see if he can help anyone. He called and said, before he left, he said, if I call you, you're going to need to start unhooking the car because we might need to go pull some people out. And he just called, but it wasn't to do that, so that's fine. Yeah, don't wish that upon anyone. That was something I never actually thought would happen. We're always so vigilant with checking tides and all that sort of stuff. That's just a really freak occurrence. Yeah, just when you're at Palubu, be extra vigilant of the tides, and when you park up against the dunes, because if we hadn't have done that, we would have been swamped a lot sooner. Yeah, anyway, if I get any more updates, I'll let you know. Oh, Hudson's thing. But yeah, I'm sitting here, we're attached to the car, and the whole van is just shaking. Good times. So now that you've seen that, you've seen what happened, and you've seen my anxious little spiel after it all happened.
Yeah.
We got more information the next day, obviously. So after Dion went for the walk down, after we got the van off the beach, he came back.
Yes.
And what was happening at the beach?
Everyone was just trying to get to high ground. Like, most people couldn't get off the beach because the waves were already at their vehicle and they didn't want to drive through the water.
Yeah.
So everyone was trying to get up onto the top of the sand dunes wherever they could. And half the people were bogged halfway up. There was a Iveco
Truck.
full dry truck,
Yeah.
and it was running back down the beach, just pulling everyone up into the dunes as far as they could.
And that beach is not very wide, so
No.
there's only so far you can go.
That's it. Once you get to the bottom of the sand dune, that's as high as you can go. But everyone was pushing up as high as they could.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone actually had proper damage. But
No, everyone drove out the next day, which was great. No one lost anything. But it was pretty scary for them for the night.
Yeah.
And as everyone came up, we had a chat to them. One family said essentially all of the seaweed formed like a barrier around their van, which saved their van.
Yes.
Another family said that the water was about this close to going inside their door, like over
so it
their
was
step.
lapping at the bottom of the van itself.
Yeah. So, pretty scary. I'm not sure if you remember or if you watched us back then, but we went to Palubi previously.
Yes.
And I'll just roll a little bit of footage. But the wind did...
It did the same thing. It turned and it just started coming onshore.
But it wasn't anywhere near as bad as this. This
No.
was bad. This was only a 1.5 metre tide.
Yeah, it was 1.5 metre tide, but it had a I think at the peak it was 2.6 metre swell.
Which came on within the hour.
Yep.
So it was a lot. We went to bed and the beach was meters away, like a good 10 meters from the van, and that's how we thought it was going to stay. And then but we couldn't even get off the beach, and it was past the van. And when you came back, so we got the van off the beach. Dion went back to make sure everyone was okay. As you came back, tell them about our site. This is about half an hour after we got it off the beach.
Yeah, so as I was coming back, where our wheels were, we had to dig one side down to level the van out.
The side furthest from the ocean.
Yep. And the water was about 1.5 meters past that hole that I dug for the tyres.
Yeah.
So if we had stayed there, we would have been, well into the water.
Yeah, so we're glad we moved. Because we nearly didn't. We thought it was going to be okay, but it just came up so quick in the 15 minutes we were kind of deciding.
Yeah. It took us maybe half hour to pack up, and in that half hour, 45 minutes, it went from, I don't know if you can see, but where the car is, on the other side of the car, to under the van in the half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was insane. It's one of those things you see happen to people and you just think, oh, they were idiots and didn't check the tides and stuff. But we had checked everything.
Yep.
But the wind changed and just, when it happens in the middle of the night, you're not expecting it.
No, but it is what it is.
It would have been interesting though. So Brian and Sue were the couple that realised what was happening. They just randomly looked out the window and went, holy moly, and they woke everyone up.
Yep, they woke up the neighbours either side, and one neighbour went down the beach, and then as they were heading up the beach with their van, they were just stopping at each van, honking the horn, getting everyone out of bed, and just letting everyone know.
They said there was a van where they were completely asleep, and they said they had to bash on the door for quite a while to get them up. So they did a great service to everyone.
Yeah.
But it would have been interesting had they not done that.
Yeah, I think
Because
everyone would have just woken up to water lapping at the bottom of the van.
The people that were behind us were way further down the beach than us. So I reckon they would have got water inside their van if they had stayed.
Yeah.
100%. They would have woken up with like ankle deep water in their van. So
Here's what it is.
anyway, so after that, we went down to Venus Bay and we've just spent 5 nights down there.
Yes, and we met Sue and Brian
Sue and
again.
Brian, yeah, they ended up being two spots down from us at the caravan park. So Brian and Dion went fishing every day.
Yes.
I have
So many whiting.
essentially no footage because we were just having a real good downtime.
Yeah.
We went and checked out Talia Caves.
The wool shed. Yeah.
Yeah, Woolshed Cave.
What was the other
The
one?
tub.
The tub, yes.
We did that whole stretch. And now we've come down to Coffin Bay.
National Park.
Yeah. So last time we were in South Australia, we stayed in Port Lincoln and we did a day trip to Coffin Bay and didn't go to the national park. And we thought, why does everyone rave about Coffin Bay? We since realised that it's the national park they're talking about, so we're staying in the park.
Yes.
And hopefully...
We got a good day tomorrow, and we'll go for a drive through the national park and go see all the beaches and things there are to see in the national park.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see, but we've got a bit of the water behind us.
Yes.
And it's currently about 8:15 at night, and it is still light enough that we don't need to use any lights.
Yes.
So that's fun. Thanks, South Australia. But it is getting a bit cold, so we might head in, shut the van up, keep some warmth in. But yeah, enjoy the rest of our videos from the Eyre Peninsula. Not sure what we're going to film, but
We'll figure it out when we actually see something worth filming.
yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks again.
See ya.
Bye.